All right, what's going on? So as you can see, we are sitting in a 2022 Corvette C8, and I still cannot believe that this is actually mine right now. You know, I had the Camaro ZL1, and last weekend after a car show in the morning, I went to a Chevy dealership. You know, I was really going there to ask about the Z06 and the ZR1. You know, I've heard that the Z06 and ZR1 wait lists are already incredibly long. And that ultimately that's the car I want to get, but I went on a very long, over 11,000 mile road trip in my Camaro ZL1 a couple months ago. And you know, I bought the car a year ago with just over 6,000 miles. I traded it in as of Saturday with just under 28,000 miles on it. So I really pretty much drove that thing into the ground. And that car was unbelievable. I've never had a car as amazing as the Camaro ZL1 until now. This C8, you know, I've only had it for 56 miles. I'll show you right here. I've only had it for 56 miles. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who want to know what it's like to own one and daily drive one. This is my only car I have. So I'm just gonna start making these once in a while, and the reason I'm making this one today, obviously I wanted to reveal that I just traded in the Camaro for the C8, but we are going back to the dealership because I got the PPF and ceramic coating package. Unfortunately, the Camaro took some dings up front. Going on an 11,000 mile road trip across the country certainly doesn't help prevent rock chips from occurring in the front bumper, but we're gonna do everything we can to keep this C8 in mint condition. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to leave the car with them for a couple days because they're gonna do the ceramic first, and then they're putting the PPF on. It's about 7:30 in the morning. I said I would be there around 8 o'clock, so it's about perfect timing. So yeah, let's get out there, and maybe on the way there I'll tell you a little bit about this car and some of my first impressions. Now, the first thing about this car that I absolutely love is if you can see that little red dot next to the 4G LTE symbol, that is the indicator that the PDR is running. And in the new C8, you can have it set so that every time you turn the car on, the PDR automatically starts running. And that's something that I would have loved to have in the ZL1. Now, of course, you know, having a PDR in the ZL1 to begin with was absolutely amazing. It's so convenient to basically just have a built-in dash cam in your car. But it was kind of inconvenient when you had to turn it on every single time that you turn the car on. I found myself pretty much having the habit of leaving the PDR as the last app on my screen, so that every time I turn the car back on, that would be the first thing that would come up, and that way I would remember right away to turn it on. But I no longer have to worry about that anymore, because from now on, every time I turn my car on, the PDR automatically starts running. Now, the second thing that I absolutely love about the C8 is actually two things kind of working together. To the right of the driver, kind of a little bit behind you to the right, there's a little pocket that you can slide your phone into, and it actually wirelessly charges your phone. And it has a pretty good grip. My phone has a pretty thin case on it, so I'm assuming even if you just have a naked phone, it's not going to move. It's pretty secured in there, as it should be. But not only is it wireless charging in there, and it's a great place to store your phone, because the C8 has wireless Carplay, you never have to worry about plugging your USB cable into your car anymore just to use Carplay. Now, that is something that I believe you can possibly get in the 2020 Camaro ZL1, and I think for 2021 and up they made it standard to have wireless CarPlay. But whenever I wanted to use CarPlay in my 2019 ZL1, I always had to plug it in. But it's just nice to be able to turn the car on, and if you want to use CarPlay, you go to CarPlay. It's right there. I mean, it's just that simple. Now, you're probably going to start to notice a little bit of a trend where the things I really like about this car are pretty much just some of the daily conveniences that the ZL1 just didn't have. Now, just to give you some info on the specs of my 2022 C8, it is a 2LT with the Z51 package. This car also has the interior carbon fiber package, which you can see throughout the interior, especially on the doors here. If you didn't already notice behind me, we have the GT2 bucket seats with the visible carbon fiber underneath the headrest. Even more noticeable is the red seat belts here. I'm so glad that this car had the red seat belts. I mean, considering it's a torch red C8, why wouldn't you add the torch red seat belts in? This car also has the engine appearance package, which adds some lights into the engine bay so that you can always see that beautiful engine back there, and some carbon fiber on the sides, as well as the red engine cover to match the car. Some of the smaller details are like the mirrors have the carbon flash black caps on them instead of just the body color. It has the Z51 red brakes with the black rims. We have the upgraded floor mats with the little Stingray logo. And last but certainly not least is this car has the front lift with memory system. The ZL1 was pretty low, and it can be pretty difficult sometimes to get in and out of the steep driveways throughout California. But thanks to the lift system with memory, that is never a problem. But we're pulling up to the dealership now. Hope you enjoyed this first little vlog I made in the C8. I'm gonna go hand the car over, unfortunately, for a couple of days, but I'm sure it will be worth it in the long run. Once this car is protected, it'll be easier to wash and clean. We're at 82 miles now. I haven't even hit 100 miles. I gotta hit 500 miles before this thing's even broken into, so we can really start having some fun. I can't wait to do some launch controls. This car is a monster off the line. And yeah, so until next time, peace.